Hope for West Ham? Jesse Lingard reportedly opening to idea of return as fresh bid touted. A fresh insight into the possibility of Jesse Lingard sealing a return to West Ham United over the coming weeks has been forthcoming on Saturday. Attacking midfielder Lingard of course made the move to London during the winter window earlier this year. On the back of a dismal opening half to the campaign, during which he failed to garner a single Premier League appearance, Lingard was granted a loan departure from Manchester United to top-flight rivals West Ham. And to say that the 28-year-old subsequently went on to impress would be something of an understatement. Having been handed the freedom of West Ham's midfield to operate, Lingard quickly established himself as one of the Premier League's standout performers over the second half of the season. All told, the English international racked up 9 goals and 4 assists across 16 appearances in the colours of the Hammers. In fact, so impressive did Lingard's form prove that, back in May, he went on to secure a Premier League Player and Goal of the Month double. In turn, it has since come as little surprise to see widespread speculation suggest that West Ham would be keen to make their Lone Star's signing permanent this summer if handed the opportunity. Initially, all signs appeared to point towards such a move coming to fruition, with Lingard, despite his stellar efforts in the capital last time out, still some way off displacing Bruno Fernandes in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first-choice Zai at Old Trafford. This was only until Solskjaer himself was drawn on Lingard's place in his plans on the back of an impressive display in a pre-season meeting with Derby County last month, though. What he did towards the end of last season, that's the true Jesse, the Norwegian explained. That's what we know he's capable of, and I think we saw towards the end that we lacked some options at times, and Jesse is in the plans at the moment, yeah. But, as outlined above, if the latest word stemming from the media this weekend is anything to go by, then it appears that another twist in the Lingard saga could well be in store. As reported by the highly reliable ex-employee, and since pushed by Manchester United fan account @Utterport on Twitter, the Red Devils star is beginning to look a lot more open to the prospect of a London Stadium return. Not only that, but it is also suggested that a West Ham bid, in turn, is expected to be forthcoming over the days ahead. Ed.